Hello, John. Nice to have you at IPADE. We are very happy to interview you right now. And I would like to start asking you a little about your life.
I studied industrial engineering, and I was always very interested in kind of this combination of efficiency and integration and making work better. I got to be an early executive at Amazon, so I played a key role in launching and scaling the marketplace business at Amazon. I left Amazon in late 2005, but I learned so much about a combination of how do we actually make effective change happen. I got to be a partner at a really good consulting firm for 12 years after Amazon, a firm called Alvarez & Marsal. And it was, the Bill and Melinda Gates was my biggest client. And one of my clients there one time pulled me in and he goes, you know, John, you do a really nice job of delicately applying the thinking from Amazon into our situation. And so in 2014, several years after I left Amazon, I released a book called The Amazon Way. And it's the story of the Amazon leadership principles and kind of my story at Amazon. I then wrote a book called Think Like Amazon, which is the full playbook of all the mechanisms and strategies from Amazon. And out of that playbook, we wrote a recent book called Big Bet Leadership. But my interest and my mission is to help senior leadership do a critical but oftentimes misunderstood and highly unsuccessful aspect of their job, which is to actually grow, transform, and innovate, which is very different than a good operating mindset. And that's what I am particularly interested in and what I try to focus all my energies.
I would like to ask you the first question based on your experience at Amazon. What are for you the key elements that you believe are essential for successfully innovating a business model in today's digital and artificial intelligence era?
One of them was something you already mentioned, which is customer obsession, and truly understanding, having empathy and a deep understanding of the job my customer is trying to get done, deeper than just how your product or service maybe understand. That's the passion, the fuel, and the insights that you need to both deliver for that customer today and to think about how you might serve them bigger and broader. And if you think about Amazon, when I was there, 90% of the business was books, music, video. Today it's a conglomerate. And the path to getting to where Amazon is today happened by just being curious about a customer and a problem that they had, and how could we serve that customer in an advantaged way relative to how they're being served today. That is the path. You have to couple it though with a mindset of truly understanding the difference between innovating versus operating. What most people don't fundamentally understand is that innovation is an experimentation-led process. Experimentation leads with failure. You start with failure, maybe earning your way up to success, if it's the right concept. But this word failure is an overloaded term, right? It means too many things to too many different people. So I don't personally like that term. I like the term experimentation because it tells you the type of failure I'm looking for, which is an experiment-led failure versus a failure of execution or a failure of urgency or a failure of clear thinking. That is not the right type of failure. So I think if you couple those two things together, deep customer curiosity and understanding operating versus innovating, you're starting to get on the right path. But finally, it takes a senior leadership commitment to long-term versus just optimizing for short-term results. If all you're interested in doing is optimizing for short-term results, well, then you don't spend the time and energy on creating future businesses, right? You optimize for today. And so it's a clear and deliberate choice that senior leadership has to make, which is, do we allocate time, resources, and understand the journey of kind of experiment-led transformation to build the business of tomorrow, a more durable, robust, future-ready business? Or do we try to just keep it optimized for today, current state model, and all we do is kind of incremental improvements? There's not a right or wrong answer here, but be clear about what your intention is. And I think the biggest mistake that senior leadership makes on this, which is they say they want to innovate and they say they want to create a durable, always learning, customer-focused, innovative company, but they don't act that way. They don't allocate time, resources, or a playbook to that. And I think that is the problem that you have to start with.